I'm cool with a person that person was beefing with.
Just wait. Your favorite rapper? That boy gonna be able to talk whatever the fuck he talking about, cause you know I'm that thing, bitch. I'm gonna leave it at that.
If somebody die, I don't think it's out. Other than that, I don't miss me with that shit.
That was the day everything flipped, when two rappers who used to trade hits started trading straight up disses. Lil Baby and YoungBoy once talked like real partners in the booth, even planning a whole tape together. But after King Von passed, the industry drew a hard line and the pressure turned the whole scene cold. Folks started choosing sides and Dirk versus YB became the new divide. YoungBoy felt boxed out, and when he dropped I Hate YoungBoy, Lil Baby got hit by a stray he didn't even ask for. Now fast forward to today, and the internet is exploding because Baby just previewed something that got everybody wild. After years of keeping quiet, he finally clapped back at NBA YoungBoy, and the reactions are going crazy. This ain't two dudes waking up mad one morning. This been simmering for a long time, and now it's boiling over. But don't get it twisted, this beef didn't start out of thin air. There's history here, real history. Before all this tension, Baby and YoungBoy were actually rocking with each other, like real friendship energy in an industry where trust barely exists. One moment flipped that whole storyline, and the game ain't been the same since. Baby stayed silent for years while YoungBoy tossed shots his way, but now he finally stepping out the shadows, and people can't believe it. The streets been waiting to see if Baby would ever fire back, and he just did with a preview that shook the timeline. And the wild part, most folks don't even know the full buildup behind this moment. So let's rewind. To understand how deep this thing runs, you gotta go back to 2018 to 2019 when Baby and YoungBoy were moving like two rising stars ready to take over together. Baby had Drip Too Hard going crazy with Gunna, and YoungBoy already had that unstoppable fan base streaming everything he touched. It was mutual respect all around. No fake vibes, just two hungry artists grinding their way to the top. They showed love publicly, shared each other's music, and even interacted online like brothers in the industry. In interviews, neither one had anything negative to say. It was that real, recognized, real vibe. Two self-made men coming from nothing and fighting for something bigger. Everything looked solid, everything sounded genuine, and nobody expected it to flip into the chaos it is today. But one situation changed everything, split the industry straight down the center, and turned old friends into rivals. And now, after all this time, Baby's breaking the silence, and it's about to shake the whole rap world. Both of them came from real pressure, real struggles, turning that grind into platinum records while the world watched. Baby was locked in tight with the whole 4PF squad and had that strong connection to Lil Durk through QC and the entire Atlanta circle. YoungBoy was building his own empire out of Baton Rouge, moving independent, calling shots his own way, no middlemen needed. There wasn't any beef, no tension, nothing but respect between two dudes in different lanes who both fought their way out the mud. But in the rap world, loyalty ain't just a word. It's a full contract stamped by the streets. When you stand next to certain people and situations pop off, there's no neutral zone, no safe corner. You gotta choose where you stand, even if you never asked for the drama. And that's exactly where everything changed. November 6th, 2020. That date flipped the whole industry upside down. On that night, King Von, one of Lil Durk's closest friends and an artist who was just breaking into the mainstream, lost his life outside a lounge in Atlanta.
26-year-old Devon Bennett, also known as rapper King Von, shot and killed after a deadly fight erupted in front of Monaco Hookah Lounge. Two men approached King Von and his group in the parking lot, and an argument ensued. The argument quickly escalating to a shootout between the two groups.
The details of that night are a whole separate story, but what matters right here is the impact, because that moment cracked hip-hop right down the middle like an earthquake. Durk was torn apart. This wasn't business, this wasn't music, this was family to him, his artist, his brother, his day one type loyalty. The second the news broke, every corner of the industry watched closely to see who would stand with who would speak up, and who would stay silent. The politics kicked in fast, and everything got messy. Durk had ties everywhere: Chicago, Atlanta, QC, 4PF, Gunna, Baby, the whole network. When he needed support, the industry pulled up for him instantly. Rappers posted tributes, showed love to Von, and made it clear they were standing with Dirk, no hesitation. And that's where things turned real political real fast. People in the streets started connecting YoungBoy to the other side of that situation. Whether it was justified or not, that's how the narrative spread, and once the streets talk, the industry listens. Suddenly, every power move started tilting toward Dirk's side, and YB found himself boxed into a corner he didn't ask for. And when the whole industry publicly supports one person, the other one suffers. Simple as that. Radio stations started acting strange with YoungBoy's music. Big blogs that used to post him instantly began moving slow, acting selective. Even platforms that normally gave him love started turning cold, like they didn't want to take the wrong side. YoungBoy didn't fall off, he got shut out, and that flipped the entire relationship between him and Baby into a silent tornado waiting to explode.
You get like, and I ain't into like two rappers beefing. Like, I ain't into that. Like, I ain't like, don't mix me with it. Like, why? If somebody died, I'm gonna pick a side. For real. If somebody died, I'm gonna pick a side. Other than that, I don't mix me with that shit.
That makes sense. I get it.
Artists who used to be cool with Dirk slowly stopped showing love to YoungBoy, and B-Love was one of the first names people noticed fading out. It was like the whole industry told YoungBoy, you with us or you against us, and suddenly he was standing outside the circle, watching everybody link up without him. But the wild part? NBA YoungBoy wasn't stressing that industry behavior one bit. While most rappers would have tried to smooth things out, play neutral, act diplomatic, YoungBoy came through with the exact opposite energy. He wasn't bowing down, wasn't trying to shake hands, wasn't pretending everything was sweet. He basically said, forget all that politics and pushed back twice as hard, making it clear he wasn't playing anybody's game but his own. Fast forward to 2022, and YoungBoy drops I Hate YoungBoy, a track that shook the entire rap scene instantly. This wasn't a subtle message or a slick bar hidden in a verse. This was a full call-out session packed with names and raw emotion. YoungBoy wasn't dancing around the situation. He was stepping straight into it, pointing fingers at everybody he felt switched up on him. And right there in the middle of the chaos, Lil Baby caught a stray shot that nobody expected. In that track, YoungBoy made it clear he felt like Baby joined the industry wave that turned cold on him. He felt like Baby picked Dirk's side and acted like their old mutual respect didn't even exist anymore. And whether people agree or not, YoungBoy had a reason to feel played. Because truthfully, Baby had been moving different. All that old support, that old friendship energy, gone. Baby wasn't liking YoungBoy's posts anymore, wasn't showing love publicly. He was locked in heavy with Dirk, dropping collabs, showing unity, and making it clear he stood with Chicago's side of things. From YoungBoy's angle, it looked like Baby did exactly what every other rapper did, switched up when it benefited his career. And Baby, he stayed silent through all of it. No response, no interview comment, nothing. He just focused on his career, making money, dropping hits, and minding his business. Some folks called that maturity. Why dive into a beef when you already winning? But other people felt the silence meant YoungBoy might have been right, that maybe Baby felt some kind of guilt about how the situation played out. But the streets don't forget, and YoungBoy definitely doesn't forget. That tension stayed alive even when the public thought the situation had faded away. And then the whole story took a wild turn nobody expected. October 2024, Lil Durk gets arrested and hit with a serious charge, murder for hire connected to a situation in California. The news sent shockwaves through hip-hop, and suddenly the entire timeline was spinning again. This wasn't some small headline. This was a moment that instantly dragged old alliances, old beefs, and old loyalty questions right back into the spotlight. The feds came down on Dirk with a full case, and just like that, one of the biggest names in the game was suddenly facing real time. The news hit the industry like a shockwave, and the reaction was exactly what people expected. Silence. All those rappers who used to post him, shout him out, and scream support started backing away fast. That's how this world works. The second federal charges show up, folks protect their own image and keep their distance. But while all that distancing was happening, something completely different was unfolding on the other side of the map. NBA YoungBoy was having one of the wildest years of his career. Even with industry politics stacked against him, even with certain platforms acting funny, he kept breaking streaming records like nothing could slow him down. His fan base stayed loyal, numbers kept climbing, and he proved you don't need a cosign to win in this business. And Lil Baby, he started moving in a way people noticed instantly. Suddenly, after years of staying quiet around YoungBoy, fans spotted Baby liking one of YB's Instagram posts, and the internet lit up. After everything that happened, after ignoring him for so long, Baby was suddenly back in the likes like the tension never existed. Then the rumors started circulating that Baby slid into YoungBoy's DMs trying to cool things down and get back on good terms. Nobody had the actual DMs, but the signs were loud enough for everybody to read. Baby was trying to rebuild that connection he once had with YB. The timing wasn't random either. The landscape had shifted. Dirk was behind bars, YoungBoy was dominating the numbers every month, and Baby might have realized he aligned himself with the wrong side of the situation. The pressure in the industry had changed direction, and Baby could see exactly who was holding the momentum now. But here's where things turned flat out disrespectful. According to people close to the situation, YoungBoy didn't entertain any of Baby's attempts to reconnect. He ignored it all like it never happened. To him, it wasn't about music anymore. It was about principles, about who stayed real when the world was against him, about who stood silent when he needed support. That type of loyalty can't be fake once the pressure hits. And then YoungBoy took the whole situation to another level of savage energy. He performed in Atlanta, Lil Baby City, his home turf, and made sure to play I Hate YoungBoy right there in front of the crowd. Think about what that means. YoungBoy showed up in Baby's backyard and blasted the exact track where he dissed him, fully aware Baby would hear about it and the entire city would talk. That wasn't just petty. That was a direct message, a calculated disrespect delivered on the biggest stage possible. In the streets, moves like that don't just disappear. That's the kind of disrespect somebody with a reputation can't ignore, especially when it happens on their own home turf. People online are calling Lil Baby fake for trying to reconnect with YoungBoy only after Dirk got locked up, saying his timing looked shaky and disloyal. Then you got Baby's supporters, the full 4PF crowd, arguing that Baby was just being mature by staying silent all those years. But now that he finally decided to speak, they're claiming the whole energy is about to shift. Baby's fans swear he's the bigger artist, the one with the mainstream pull, the plaques, the features, and the industry influence. They're saying once Baby applies real pressure, YoungBoy won't know how to handle the wave that comes with it. They keep pointing at Baby's catalog, his Atlanta connections, and his dominance in the charts, insisting YoungBoy pushed the wrong person too far. Meanwhile, Instagram is going absolutely wild. Every blog that posted Baby's snippet got thousands of comments within minutes. People are analyzing every lyric, breaking down every punchline, trying to guess who he's calling out and what the next move will be. The energy is so crazy that every scroll feels like a new argument waiting to start. YouTube reaction channels jumped on it instantly. Emergency uploads, live breakdowns, heated debates. Everybody has their own angle on the situation. Everybody's picking sides, and the views are exploding because fans can't get enough of this drama. This ain't small. This is real tension between two of the most influential young rappers in the game. And nobody has a clue where this ends. Other rappers are chiming in too. Some are trying to play peacemaker, saying the culture doesn't need more division and that both artists should let it go. Others are saying Lil Baby had every right to drop a response after years of public disrespect. The industry is split, watching this unfold like a high-stakes chess match. And TikTok, it's absolute madness. The snippet turned into a viral sound within hours. People are using it for edits, dropping memes, making predictions, acting out fake scenarios, and turning the whole beef into entertainment. The younger generation is locked in because they love this kind of tension. And they especially love when an artist who usually stays calm finally snaps on the mic. But here's where things get even more interesting. This whole situation goes deeper than just two rappers throwing shots at each other. There's a bigger picture behind this moment, a shift that goes way beyond music, and that's why the entire culture is glued to the screen waiting for the next move. This whole situation represents something way bigger than just two rappers trading shots. It's a reflection of how hip-hop has been shifting for years. The Lil Baby versus NBA YoungBoy tension is really about loyalty, industry politics, and what happens when you get pushed into picking a side you never planned to choose. Lil Baby aligned himself with Lil Durk and the industry circle, moving in a way he thought would boost his career. He played the political game, made the connections, linked with the right movers, and for a long stretch, it worked perfectly for him. He got the massive features, the radio spins, and the full support of the entertainment machine behind him. Meanwhile, YoungBoy went the exact opposite direction and rejected every piece of industry structure. He didn't try to play the game, didn't try to keep everybody happy, didn't bend to politics, didn't chase approval. He decided to rely on his core fan base and stay true to his own path, even when it meant people were trying to shut him out of the mainstream. And here's the wild part, and both strategies actually worked. Baby became a mainstream superstar, and YoungBoy became a digital powerhouse with one of the strongest fan bases in the entire music world. Two different routes, two different mindsets, yet both of them turned into giants in their own ways. But even with that success, the air is still full of tension, unresolved energy, and old wounds that never heal. And now everybody's asking the same question. Was any of this even necessary? Could both of them have stayed winning without turning into rivals? Or is the game built now so that you either stand with somebody or you stand against them? No middle ground left to choose? What makes all of this even crazier is how one single situation, the death of King Von, created a chain reaction that changed alliances, friendships, and careers for years after. That's how strong loyalty and street politics run in hip-hop. One moment can flip the whole board and reshape relationships that once looked unbreakable. And now, here we are. Lil Baby finally responded after years of silence, and that move just placed the ball straight in YoungBoy's court. The entire culture is waiting to see what he does next, because whatever his next step is, it's about to shake everything again. The big question now is simple. Is YoungBoy about to fire back? Or is this turning into a full-on rap war with tracks dropping back-to-back like a heavyweight fight? Knowing how NBA YoungBoy moves, he's not the type to let anything slide, especially if the disrespect was real. And from what people are saying online, Baby threw some serious shots, so YoungBoy is probably already in the studio, lining up his response. And anybody who knows YoungBoy knows he doesn't hold back in moments like this. That's just not how he operates. When the pressure hits, he steps forward, not backward. And that's what keeps fans locked in, wondering what his next move is gonna sound like. The fans are fueling this even more because they love competition, they love tension, and they love when two major artists finally address what's been bubbling under the surface for years. Drama drives numbers, and right now the numbers are turning up fast. But the real question is this beef actually good for either one of them? Lil Baby is standing at the top of the mainstream right now. He's already dominating with records, features, and momentum. Does he really need this back and forth energy distracting him right when his career is peaking?
Now, what's probably the biggest feature you had to turn down, man? I know there probably was some features of someone like, yo, I want to get you on this record. What's one of the biggest features you had to turn down?
Like, for like 75,000, something like that. And that's only because, like, I'm cool with a person that person was beefing with.
Another person.
So then that's like, even though I don't even know him or even know the other person, but I already was kind of cool with him.
Just out of respect.
Yeah, then I ain't want to just be in the middle of it, you know what I'm saying? That's the only time I'm turning down the feature.
And on the other side, YoungBoy has built his own empire independently with no major label steering the wheel. Does he need to keep giving energy to beef when he could just stay focused and let his numbers speak for themselves? But here's the truth. Sometimes the smart move ain't the move your pride lets you make. Sometimes it becomes about respect, principles, and making sure nobody plays with your name. And both Baby and YoungBoy are at the point where taking a step back might look like taking a loss. So neither one is trying to blink first. So drop your thoughts. Who's really in the right? Should Lil Baby have responded earlier instead of staying quiet for years? Should YoungBoy accept Baby trying to fix things when the industry flipped? And the biggest question of all, who actually wins if this turns into a full rap battle with both sides dropping their hardest material? This story is still unfolding, and every hour something new pops up. Trust, the next chapter is coming fast, and the moment it drops, the whole culture is going to be talking about it again. The streets are watching closely, fans are split down the middle, and hip-hop just got thrown into a new wave of energy that nobody saw coming. This could turn into the kind of feud that shapes both of their legacies depending on what they choose to do next. Real recognizes real. But sometimes real has to check real too. And that's exactly what's happening right in front of us as this situation keeps taking new turns. And now we've reached the moment everybody's been waiting for. The part where this whole story stops being just another rap disagreement and turns into a cultural shift happening right in front of our eyes. What started as silent tension between two rising giants has evolved into one of the biggest questions in hip-hop. Where does loyalty end? Where do politics begin? And who stands tall when the smoke clears? Lil Baby finally stepping out and speaking his mind has cracked open a conversation that the entire industry's been scared to touch. His move wasn't just a response, it was a statement that he's done letting narratives run without his voice in the mix. And at the same time, you got NBA YoungBoy, an artist who built a kingdom without a single cosign, deciding whether to send another shockwave across the culture with a response that could reset everything again. This isn't just music anymore. This is about identity, principles, and two different ways of surviving a game that rewards some and shuts out others. It's about who stayed real when the lights were brightest, who stood firm when the pressure hit, and who's ready to face the consequences of every choice they made on the way up. Hip-hop's not watching this for entertainment. It's watching because this moment could shape the next generation's mindset. Do you play the industry's game and move strategic, or do you trust your core and take the lonely road that comes with staying true? Baby and YoungBoy are showing both paths in real time, and the world is paying attention because either choice can crown you or crush you depending on how you carry it. And now the tension is sitting heavy in the air again. One move from either side could flip this whole situation. One track, one lyric, one decision, that's all it takes to turn this into one of the biggest rap chapters of this decade. And you already know both of them are capable of changing the landscape with one drop. If you want every twist, every update, every leaked snippet, and every behind-the-scenes flip before it hits the rest of the internet, then you already know where to pull up. BarzBuzz. This is where the real stories get broken down, the hidden details get exposed, and the culture gets decoded in a way nobody else is doing. Stay locked in with BarzBuzz because this saga is only heating up, and the next chapter might hit harder than anything we've seen yet. If this saga had you shook, wait till you see what's next. You already know what it is. BarzBuzz got the real, raw, and unfiltered breakdowns. So don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share this with someone who needs to catch up.